So the next part, the next ayat, now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that these people who have all these qualities, that they believe and they do good deeds. In the previous ayat we saw that. So after defining all these things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that these are the people who are guided. So the word ulaika means such people or those people. This word I want to just spend a minute on this one. Okay. The word is ulaika. First of all, the meaning. Meaning means such or those people. Ulaika means such people or those people. Okay, but the important thing is here, the first letter alif has a hamza and waw on it. Okay. The next letter waw has a little circle on it. When alif or waw or ya have a circle on that, you do not pronounce them. So waw should not be pronounced, it is only written. Okay? So the pronunciation will be lightly oo. Do not say oo, okay, because waw should not be pronounced. Only alif has to be pronounced with a dhamma, oo.
Oh, it has a circle?
Circle means do not pronounce this letter.
But it has a sukoon.
Sukoon is, no, this is not sukoon. Sukoon means you have to combine.
Okay.
Circle means this, like this word letter is not even there. Okay? So you just pronounce oo. Don't stretch oo, otherwise you bring the sound of wow in it. Okay, number one. Number two, this is lam with an alif here. So basically this is something like that. La with the alif, la. Okay? But whenever a hamza comes, which is here, before alif, you have to put a mud on the alif and you have to pronounce this alif long. La-ika. Okay? So that's the reason, if you look in the Quran, there is a mud on the alif. Okay? So it should be pronounced la. It should be stretched because this hamza is putting a mud there, the backward. And ka is simple fatha. Ulaika. Okay? Ulaika means those people or such people.
So that's true all the grammar if they have a hamza behind.
Right.
Hello?
Whenever there is a hamza and before this hamza is alif or waw or ya, right? So when you recite alif long, waw long and ya long. Any of these three. Okay? So hamza has backward effect in the tajweed, that it puts a mud on the letter. Only these, if there is a noon or jim or nothing will happen. Only these three weak letters have to be before hamza, where you can make the sound long. Okay? So this means such people or those people. Okay? Allah means upon. Allah means upon. Okay? And then the word after that is hudan. Ha and dal and ya are the root letters, means to guide. Hada means to guide, and Hudan is a noun. Hudan means guidance. They are upon the guidance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, these are the people, such are the people who are upon guidance, means they are guided. Upon guidance means they are guided. Okay. Then the word is Rabbun. Rabbun means Lord. Okay. And Hum means there. Rabbun means Lord, and Hum means them or there. Okay. So when you combine these together, the word will become their Lord in English. But in Arabic, you have to remove one dhamma from here, and it will be Rabbuhum. Okay? So if you combine, it will become Rabbuhum. Rabbuhum means their Lord. I only remove one dhamma. So Rabbun became Rabbu, and Hum, Rabbuhum, their Lord. Now, if we put this word min before that, okay, min means from. Many changes will take place when you put a meme before there. Okay? First of all, min is a harf jar. Harf jar looks at the next word, and if it finds a dhamma, it changes to a kasra. So first thing that will happen, this dhamma will change into a kasra. So the word now became Rabbi Hum. Instead of Rabbu, it is now Rabbi Hum. In Tajweed, in the recitation, this Dhamma on the Hum is also recited as Kasra, just to make easy on the tongue. Sounding Rabbi Hum is not easy, but the flow when you say Rabbi Him, it is easy. So Tajweed changes this to a Kasra. So now it becomes Rabbi Him. It's easy to pronounce. Also, when Ra comes before Noon, it kills the sound of Noon to a Gunna. Okay? So you do not pronounce Noon, but you pronounce this Ra twice. So you pronounce Mir Rabbihim. This is not the grammar, these are the rules of recitation. Okay? So you recite not Min Rabbihim, but Mir Rabbihim. Mir.
So and
Ra twice, but sound should come out from the nose. Mir Rabbihim.
not Mendra.
No min anymore. Sound of Noon goes away. Okay? But it changes into a sound of Gunna, but sound of Ra should be heavy. Mir Rabbihim. From their Lord. Okay? Also, if you notice the word before that was Hudam. Hudan. This is the sound of Noon. Okay? But what will happen? Because there is a meme here, this Noon sound will change into a meme sound again. So that's the reason you put a Shadda there and you pronounce Hudam, not Hudan anymore.
Can I say something?
Recite wrong.
So,
I recited wrong.
why, well, I'm sorry, I'm asking you this. Why did you put a circle on the Dhamma on the bar?
Because min
Okay.
will change this Dhamma to a kasra.
Oh,
So there is no more Dhamma here anymore.
Min Rabbihim.
Yeah.
From
Okay.
him. So, it makes
So
it
if you
thorough.
notice in the Quran, there is a shadda on this mim,
Yeah.
okay, and there is a shadda on this ra,
Right.
right? So you separately this word is hudan,
Right.
sound of noon. But when mim is after that, then mim takes over the sound of noon. So now there are two sounds of mim,
Right.
hudam.
Done.
And then when you come to this point, then this noon gets killed because of the ra.
Right.
So it becomes mir,
Udam.
mir, hudam mir,
Udam.
right?
Udam.
Even though separately you're pronouncing correctly. If you want to read Quran one word at a time, you're doing it okay. Okay.
Udam.
But if you want to read with the tartil and tajweed, then this is how you correctly pronounce these words.
Udam.
Hudam mir.
Udam.
Just notice that shadda is there. You have to shadda means you have to say that word letter twice. Hudam mir rabbihim, guidance from their Lord. From their Lord. Okay. Then let's look at the next few words too. Again, the word wa'ulaika, same word, and those people. Okay, so and
Thank you for explaining that.
those people. And whom again means them or they. Okay, so the next word is al muflihun. Let's look at that word. Okay. So the next word starts with these three letters: fa, lam, and ha. And this means to be successful. Or to succeed, to be successful. Okay? So this is three letters: fa'ala,
Can I ask something? Why'd you put the file? Oh, because in order to change that and make it into a verb, you have to put the file. It has to be.
yeah, the
And
rule.
is that what is it? That's another verb, or
Yeah, this is a different three letters.
I'm saying the file.
Fala is the rule of the grammar that we
Three,
follow.
three letter.
Three letters rule.
Three letter.
So
Because this has three letters, so they belong to this
That
group.
group.
oh okay. Oh my bad.
Okay.
Sorry.
Now, in the case of four letters, it will be af'ala. So this becomes aflaha. Okay? So the meaning of this word is to make someone successful, to give success. Okay? To give success. Means someone is giving you something, giving you success to you. Okay? Now, if I put a meme in the beginning, mufu lihun, this means the one who has been given success. By putting a meme in the beginning, it becomes the person. Like Mohsin, okay? Muflis, okay? Mukhlis, it becomes a person. So muflihun is a person now. The one who has been given success, who has become successful. Okay? And muflihuna is the plural of that. Okay? So this means successful. Successful person. A successful person is muflihun.
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 I thought the kasra was under the
Okay.
fa.
Its plural is muflihuna. Muflihuna means successful pupil. Okay. This is one person, so I wrote down successful person. Its plural is muflihuna, successful pupil. Okay. And if I put al before,
Okay.
it means the successful pupil. Okay. Al muflihuna, those people who are successful. So this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, and those are the people who are successful people, means they will succeed. Their success will be in the hereafter, that they will win. Okay, they will be successful people. Okay, so this is means they are those who are successful or who succeed. Pupil. So in these first five ayats of the Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about one group of people only. Okay? Those are the people who believe in all different things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in these 5 ayats. Okay? So this is one group of people. They believe, they have yaqeen, and their result will be successful. Okay? After that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about another group of people. And there are many ayats about those people. We will see inshallah next time that those are the people who disbelieve. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about those people who are kuffar, who reject. Then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about a third group of people.
Hypocrites.
Those are hypocrites. Those are munafiqeen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about that group of people. So these 3 groups are mentioned in the beginning of few ayats of the Quran. Clearly that what are the characteristics of each group of people. So one can recognize them that a person belongs to this group or that group or that group. Okay? So these ayats of the Surah Baqarah, beginning ayats, are very important. It distinguish different kinds of people. Okay? So inshallah we'll continue this thing.